Hi guys. How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to the Joy of Resin. We are doing an evening pour because I got off work early and I wanted to do some work. So I'm going to take my next steps on this guy, next steps on the skulls. We're going to see what happens with these, and we're just going to see what we can manage to do tonight. Hopefully I have enough battery life on my phone to pull off this recording. I'm down to like 18%, so we'll see. Okay, so again, the vacuum chamber with the craft resin is working really well. I mean, look at that. There's like no bubbles whatsoever. This is great. Okay, so for this layer, we're going to coat the cigar itself a little bit so that that can begin kind of sealing. Sealing with an SEA, not a CEI. All right. And then we're just going to bring the level up a little bit. All right, now we're putting in the band for the cigar itself. That has been sealed in laminate. Remember when putting photos and sealed paper in, you kind of bend it and push it down so that the air bubbles are pushed away as it goes into the resin. And then you grab one of these guys and squish so that all of the air pockets escape from underneath it. That will help prevent floating. It also helps to do a really thin layer when you're sealing something in place so that it doesn't have so much room to float. All right. There we go. Okay. Is that looks there we go. Okay. All right. Bubble. That's it. Just the one bubble. Okay. Don't fall over. Okay, that's it for that layer. Off to the heat. All right. Next, so I have there you are. All right, I've got these little guys. There was a wood turning expo in town this weekend, and I work at a hotel that's very close to the expo. Somebody there gave me these two little earring panels, and I have like drilled out some little holes in them because I want to see what it looks like if I fill them with resin. These were throwaway blanks from the wood turner, and this is just test pieces on my part. So if it turns out looking like shit, I'm not really going to cry about it. But if it ends up looking cool, that might be something I can look into doing. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've always loved the way it looks when you've got wood and resin as mixed media. I actually got a few good ideas for projects I can try while I was at the expo. However, that will have to wait until I have more resources. So now we've got our butterfly, which I'm just going to add a backing layer to with this dark brilliant blue mica. However, this mold is deformed in some way and tends to leak on the edges of the wings, so I don't want to fill it up all the way. Just kind of do a partial coating. Okay, I think that's as far as I'm going to go with that. What I'm probably going to do with this piece is put it, once that cures, in a larger panel piece as a backing. And okay, I'm just kind of doing stuff at this point. All right, so like I said with the butterfly, what I'm going to do is mount it on a panel like, you know, a butterfly sample that an entomologist would have on their wall. You know, like those butterfly shadow boxes. Just, you know, terrifying and spooky. Use up the blue. Done with the yellow. Too heavy. Don't do it. And then fill it up with some rocks. Maybe not all the way, but most of the way. I missed. So these are our 9-inch nail skulls. And I wanted to do more with the background than just pure color, which is why we chose the rocks. So there's a little bit of a transparent effect on the bottom of the top, I suppose. So you can see kind of down through the skull cap. And hopefully, because of that, you'll be able to see down and see, well, the rocks. And also along the sides. So that will give it a slightly more interesting look than just black, yellow, blue. Okay, right, that's it for these two. I have a little octopi that shit flash cure, and I don't have anything ready to go. Damn. You're too heavy for me to be fucking with right now. Yeah, I might have just destroyed this mold. We shall see. I definitely destroyed this cup, though. Okay. Well, there goes my plan for that. Okay. So, always remember, guys, if you've got a flash cure on your hands, get it into a mold real quick. Blurg. Yeah, I better just take that glove off. Okay, well, so much for that plan. All right. Well, thus concludes our story for today. You know, that's the second time in a row I've ended up using this particular mold in the case of a flash cure. It's starting to hurt my feelings. I wonder what that's going to look like once I pull it out. All right. Well, that's it for now. See you guys later.